The section at the fourth wall is dedicated to multidisciplinary artists working at the interface between fine and applied arts. So how do the artworks fit in this section?
Well, in this booth I have 3 different approaches that are sort of typical and relevant in my practice, and they in different ways all have to do with the wall and with space in different senses. So if you look at the back, you'll see there are these very fine lines which are done with a chalk line. That is a tool that you usually use on construction sites, but make this very, very beautiful line, and has this capacity of when you put it on the wall, it sort of opens up a space, or it's like a scratch in the surface. And in a way, it's also a way to draw a stage. So that is, let's say, the first approach into this section of the fourth wall. Second, you have these stones that you see hanging among the lines. There are 2 different aspects that are important here. On the one hand, these are leftovers from a stonemason's workshop, and those are all the pieces of constructions that were not used. The ones that didn't become terraces, that didn't become bathrooms, that didn't become parts of somebody's stage for their home or their office or the business. So they're like little fragments of a facade that could have been. And they also carry these lines. They continue the lines from the wall, but in a much more sort of lively way. The last group of works is a group of works that all show a figure. And this figure shows an Assyrian god. The Assyrian rulers were a culture that existed in Mesopotamia 4,000 to 3,000 years ago. And one of their very important cities was Nimrud. And in this giant palace, the Northwest Palace of the king Ashurbanipal II, I think, there were many gigantic stone reliefs carrying these kinds of depictions of goddesses which would protect the space. Then, after the kingdom fell, it disappeared and was covered, and only around 200 years ago it was excavated. So I like to think about these images also as actually part of a stage setting for this kingdom's room. So here we have again the stage and the facade and the wall as a central topic. The thing about this particular figure is that like many of the other figures that were excavated in the mid-1860s, they went to all different kinds of museums and were basically taken out of the country. This particular one was given to an American missionary and spent the next 150 years in a college in Virginia. 3 years ago, 2018, 4 years ago now, we have 22, this relief, and it's gigantic, it's 2 by 2 meters and thick, and it's very big and powerful, and it's a very, very beautiful example, was sold. It was put on auction on Christie's. The Iraq government tried to get it back, but it was not possible because it is already so many years ago that it ended up in America. And it was sold for $30 million, a record price for this kind of artwork, and you don't know who bought it. So in a way, after appearing and existing in sort of our world for 150 years, it's disappeared again. Of course, it is still there somewhere, but we don't know who has it. Somebody very rich probably bought it and put it in their house. So what I have here are frottages that I made with images. I have never seen the real relief. I've seen similar ones, but not this particular one, that are sort of very, very light, the absolute opposition to the actual very monumental and very big actual relief. But these are just like little shadows, little fragments of the original image.